was just about to say, better be a good one. The thing is, I have like 18 backups, so even if it's not. Do you know what? I actually haven't had passion fruit since last summer. I swear 9 out of 10 watermelons that I've had this year have been like peak. When you get that crackiness on the surface, that's when you know. I have officially decided that this is the best way to dice a watermelon, especially when it's a really crisp one. Listen to this. Oh, look at that. Some lime and some passion fruit. You're probably thinking, have I started a day in the summer without watermelon? Answer is no. This beautiful thing right here is a sugar baby melon. One of the sweetest melons I've ever tasted. Like, consistently. They even smell like vanilla. The thing is, I was supposed to share this with Jill. She's currently on a walk. I swear, maybe when I pull the camera out, she just goes out for a walk because she's like, do you know what? I've had enough of these shenanigans. I'm not playing any role in this. And I don't blame her. But I just know that if I get into the sweetness of this right now, I will consume the whole thing. So when she gets back, we'll share this. You know what, guys? I thought I could resist. I can't do it. Look at how juicy that is. Cheers. Mmm. I am making some overnight oats, although, as always with me, it's not overnight oats because I never remember, so it's over the last couple of hours oats. It's about 1 PM, and I just made them pretty basic. I just used whole rolled oats, oat milk. Don't get me started, you can't make oatmeal without any other plant milk apart from oat milk. You just can't, okay? It makes oatmeal at this point, I have decided. Same thing with coffee, but that's a whole other story. And a couple tablespoons of chia seeds, just for good omega-3s, and to, you know, I was gonna say to bump it up, but it's not really, it's to bulk it up, you know what I'm saying? So as the oatmeal is pretty bland as it is, I want to make a very flavorful sauce. When I make oatmeal, I usually make it high protein oatmeal as well. Didn't put any protein powder in the oats. So I'm going to make a very flavorful, was about to call it a compote. It's nothing like a compote at all. It's gonna be kind of like a, I was gonna say a thick creamy sauce, not that either. It's gonna be more like a slushy, but a high protein slushy. So I'm gonna blend frozen cherries, which are my favorite frozen berry, stone fruit. Are they a berry? Are they a stone fruit? I actually don't even know. Frozen cherries, just blended with some peanut butter powder, essential. Protein powder, I think I'm gonna use vanilla today, the Madagascar vanilla. And some dates. The dates I'm using, let me show you. Can we actually focus on... Yeah, I have been on a Zamli date kick for probably the last 2 years, which I keep telling you about. But now I'm back onto the little squishy Persian ones because, let's face it, everything Persian is just 10 times sweeter. If you know what I'm saying. And of course, it's going to be smothered. I haven't decided which one yet, but with nut butter. Was that even a question at this point? Sweet frozen cherries. Also got some frozen bloobs. Guys, the amount I go through this stuff is actually some of the Madagascar vanilla from Vivo Life. Little splash of plant milk. Again, I'm using oat milk. Okay, it needs a lot more plant milk. Hemp seeds, of course, and the best part, as always, I swear I just make bowls. The only reason, I'm actually salivating, can you hear that? The only reason I make bowls is so that I have something to pour peanut butter over the top, at this point, pretty much. Beautiful. It did look a lot more beautiful about 15 minutes ago. But then I let it melt because I was trying to take good pictures for Instagram. I promised it looked good at one point, all right? But main thing is, it's gonna taste of heaven. Guys, I just want to show you, well, apart from my beautiful golden kiwis there. But anyway, no, I just wanted to show you, this was dinner last night. I mean, it was a full pot, I didn't finish it because I had it with a huge salad, but this is how lazy I'll get. This is literally chickpea pasta, olive oil, nooch, and let me tell you, it was good.
How the scrubs, baby?
Strawberries extremely sweet. I've realised when I make tofu, I always overcomplicate it. Don't get me wrong, tofu is a bland base, right, that just soaks up flavour. So really the more the better. But if you cook it well, if you cook it crispy, especially if you cook it in little shapes like this, all you need is a little bit of coconut aminos. No, that's all you need. See, usually I'd use coconut aminos, I'd use tahini or peanut butter, garlic, lime, but the dressing and the flavour from the salad is so banging that I feel like all we need is a little bit of a salty kick, salty sweet kick, which the coconut aminos gives, and for these to be nice and perfectly crispy. Going to roast them rather than air fry them. First of all, let me just say, on a day like today, which is so beautiful and hot, I'm not in the mood for warm food at all. The salad itself is going to be cold. I'm just baking the tofu in advance. When I put it together, it will be refreshing, but also creamy, but also, you know what I mean. The reason I stopped air frying was because, by the way, first of all, if you're wondering why I am constantly playing with this pendant, it's probably because you remember the one that I had before and then it broke and then I didn't have one and I was very upset. So Jill gave me this one and apparently it's protecting me at all times. Is it protecting me from my madness though? No. Before we get into the recipe, this is something that you will all want to know. Now this did happen a few weeks ago when we were in Greece, so actually like 4 or 5 weeks ago. But the big pendant I was wearing before, I know you've all seen it in all of my photos because in all of my photos I'm basically naked on Instagram. Well, not naked, but you know what I mean. You've seen the pendant is what I'm saying. It was a big, heavy rock. You also know I love to double skip. And sometimes I'll double skip for like an hour because I love to push myself. And it's actually painful when I watch the reel back. It's on my Instagram of me double skipping because I was double skipping shirtless because I was drenched. So there was no t-shirt barrier to stop it banging against my chest. And because I am one of those people that was trained from a young age to just not feel pain, you know, being in professional sport, that's how you're trained, to not feel pain. If you do feel it, to just push through it, and I don't know, it still sticks with me, I just don't feel pain. I don't feel physical pain from physical exertion like other people would. Jill came out about 5 times and she was like, and I always have my headphones blaring. She was like, Miles, take your necklace off, take your necklace off. And I was like, why? Like, what, why? And then she kept saying it, it kept annoying me. I was just in my zone. The pendant was banging and banging and banging against my collarbone. For the whole time, didn't feel a thing. I'll insert a picture. Until afterwards, I looked in the mirror and my whole collarbone was bruised, purple, and I was like shocked as if I didn't know where it had come from. And I was like, babe, what the fuck happened to my neck? And she was like, yeah, the rock was slamming against your collarbone the whole time and you didn't listen to me. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but I just did. And if you are one of those people that has been pushed to your limits physically in sport to the point where you just don't feel pain anymore, make sure you remove sharp objects / heavy pendants before you move. Okay, so just a smidge of coconut aminos. I am so tempted to add some nut butter to this, but I'm not gonna do it. into a hot oven for about 20 minutes until these are nice and charred and crispy. Alright, so we have this huge bowl of crunchy raw veggies, which I'm gonna make a very intricate dressing. When I say intricate, it's not that intricate. It has like 6 or 7 ingredients. I've shown you something similar before. I usually make this kind of creamy sauce with cashew nuts. Didn't have any today, so I'm using macadamia, which is even better because they're a lot creamier. Love macadamia. They're just buttery and especially when you have other flavors in there like garlic and capers and all the other delicious things that go in this dressing. I'll leave the full dressing down below that I'm making today, but while the tofu's in the oven before I whiz up the dressing. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna massage the lime juice into the kale, leave it for about 15 minutes to soften. Then we will make the creamy sauce and I'm not gonna salt it because I don't want it to wilt too much, and there is salt in the dressing too, so. Don't anyone try and tell me that this tofu is not perfect. Would you look at that? It's hot, but guys, the crispiness to chewy factor, absolutely spot on. The thing is, this is Jill's recipe and I change it every single time. And I forget how to make it every single time. And so she just sent me the ingredients, but do I have miso? I do not have miso. So this is technically my recipe because it's different, and I'm also going to add 2 cloves of garlic instead of 1. So you saw it here first, guys. 1 cup of soaked raw macadamias or cashews, 2 big fat cloves of garlic, tablespoon of capers, a heaped teaspoon of Dijon mustard, the juice and zest of 1 big lemon, although I'm not gonna zest it because I really can't be fucked. Yay! 25 pips in there. Bit of balsamic vinegar, and for sweetness, because there is a lot of tartness in here from the capers, the mustard, all of that, I'm going to use 1 big squishy medjool date. Look at that, just pure caramel. Just a tiny bit of water to thin. Just gonna add 1 more date because I want it even sweeter. Even sweeter. I think it calls for a squishy Persian date, to be quite honest. Should I try and make like a little temple? I don't know how I would go about doing this, but I'm gonna try. It's actually quite sad that this gives me a lot of pleasure, but that's me. Beautiful. Guys, that is a work of art. I know you can't tell through the camera, but it actually is. I actually realized as well I forgot to put the salt in, and it's still that good. But I did add a little bit of salt on top of the salad. This actually is like one of the most simple but most delicious. Anyway, this sauce is what brings this whole thing together. And yes, I have just dolloped some on the top. I will be going back for seconds and thirds and fourths. Cheers. Yes, I ordered Nando's. Guys, I have not had Nando's literally since I was about 20, so we're talking over 10 years. I thought it was about time, especially because I saw it all over my friend's Instagram story the other day. I didn't realize they had so many good vegan options. So, first I got the rainbow bowl. Doesn't look like it did on the website. I'm not gonna lie. This is a mix of some kind of grain, vegan coleslaw, which I fucking love, hummus, broccolini. This is their new crispy chickpea burger. It's some kind of new chickpea vegan burger, and I'm very excited about it, although I think it needs to be plated. Love how much greenery they've stuffed in. And the pickled onions on top. Oh hell yes. Have they put ketchup in? No, they haven't. I can add it. All right, hold on. Do you know what? I feel like I should try this without ketchup first because, cheers. That's messy as fuck, but the flavor's bang. You knew this was gonna happen at some point. I don't care if it already has hot sauce in it. It still needs ketchup.